Thanks, Amanda. I have this two-page speech here, but I think most of this has already been said, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I would like to respectively acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which this event's taking place, including elders past and present. Never do it as well as Robin. Nobody can. I would also like to acknowledge the Honourable Shannon Fentiman, MP, Member for Waterford. Thank you, Shannon, for being here. Linus Power, MP, Member for Logan. Councillor Russell Lutton, the Chairperson of our Economic Development and Planning Committee, and Councillor John Raven, who is the Chairperson of City Centres Special Committee. And get to know John because this falls under his paddock and he has to deal with it. And he's way over there in the corner. That's... thank you, Amanda, and your team from Articulus. Last night was really good, and I'm sorry I had to leave just a little bit early. But I would have rather stayed, but you know, you have events you have to be at. I think Meadowbrook has the most amazing potential. We have a hospital, we have a TAFE college, we have a university. There are any number of cities, not just in Australia, but throughout the world, that would love to have those three ingredients to build on what can be an amazing place. We have the greatest community in at least Queensland, if not Australia, in Logan. We have a community that are committed to making this a better place. What we need is to unlock that potential. The state government's plan, Shaping Queensland SEQ, or Shaping SEQ in the regional plan, Meadowbrook is identified as a regional economic cluster. It has the ability to do that. The Queensland Government has already committed to expanding the hospital, another 192 beds, and address the prime issue that we hear about in council all the time, car parking. It is the issue, and it's funny how that small issue can create, it sounds very small that you can't find a car park, it sounds like a minor detail, but it isn't when you have got to get into the hospital, or you need to park to go to university, or you need to park to go to the TAFE college, or even to get on the train. It's not a minor issue to those people, and it needs to be addressed. And it's a minor issue compared to the other things that can be considered for Meadowbrook. I was talking about specialists last night, and everybody heard my story about the pregnant woman with 2 children having to ride a bus for 45 minutes to see her gynaecologist. That is a drama none of you want to go through, and and we need to address that. And I know we have specialist services. I was quite quickly reminded we do have specialist services at the hospital, but we need more, and we need them better integrated into what is this precinct. The university, the TAFE and the hospital work very well together. Again, that needs to increase and improve. We need R&D desperately. I've always been a bit of, I go to company directors' conferences and I'm always whinging at the company directors because, in my opinion, there is not significant, or not sufficient is the word I would use, contributions from the private sector in this country into R&D. How many inventions can we name that have been created in Australia, designed, invented in Australia, and end up being sold by China, the US or the UK? That's not good enough anymore. We have to do it here. We have to be able to use our R&D, but we've got to get significant investment into it first. This is a great place to do that. We have transport, when we move the railway station, thank you, Shannon. We have transport, we have proximity to roads, we have proximity to ports, we have proximity to airports. You can be from here, you can be in the Brisbane airport in 35 minutes or less, depending on the traffic at the time. You can be at Southport in roughly the same amount of time. We have, and I've often been reminded to get the good specialists and the really specialist people who like to play in the specialist fields of medical research. You need to have a good environment to live in. I can't think of a better place than Logan for that environment, because if you go 15 minutes either to the west or to the south, you're in the country. It's not, it is the country. It's not just a pretend. It is really rural and beautiful. And of course we have, fortunately, our neighbour to the coast, to the south, has the most amazing beaches. So we also have that. So we need to take key actions. We need to know exactly what they are, and then we need to put them into practice. That's to make sure we unlock this potential of Meadowbrook as a fully integrated, vibrant and diverse centre. And as part of today's event, you will hear from a lot of people, including one of my heroes, Bernard Salt, to how we work together and identify and prioritise those key projects. That this is what needs to happen to bring Meadowbrook's potential to life. Thank you very much for your time. We really do appreciate that a lot of you are giving up precious work time or even precious community time. But thank you very much for being part of this very important summit.